Hello viewers, we welcome you to yet another episode of Doordarshan Meghalaya's Career Guidance program. I am your host Shweta, and today we have with us a very special guest. He is a veteran in the field of fine arts who has been painting and filmmaking since 1983. He is a recipient of various awards and recognitions for his work, and he is also the founder of Riti Academy, Shillong in Meghalaya. He is none other than Mr. Raphael Warjri. We welcome you to our show, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, can you tell our viewers more about yourself with respect to your professional and educational background?
Education, I don't have any much say. I'm just past 12.
Okay.
But regarding my profession, I only know about art. I don't know anything else. I have put my my attempt in some other work so that I can earn something and sustain the work that I am doing, especially art. But I discovered that I don't fit in anything else. No business, nothing. Even when I have my own television channel, but Media Plus. Even when I do that, it was not a business model. It is purely a passionate involvement with the work. That's how I see to it. Earning is secondary. I'll come to this later, but this is what I'm just trying to tell you. So basically, I am more involved with painting, sculpture, and few other disciplines of fine arts, including photography, and I do a bit of design and all this also. Then, more elaborately, I used to do filming also.
Okay.
I do film, yeah.
So choosing a profession in fine arts is still very unconventional. When people take up any profession or take up any field of education, they still want to become doctors or engineers or lawyers. For them, that is the conventional. And when we tell our parents that we want to become artists, so they still look at us with doubtful eyes because it's still very, at a nascent stage, and people don't willingly take up. And as you said, that despite, education background is not very important if you are very passionate about it. So when was it that you realized that it is fine arts that you want to pursue, and taking that risk must have been very challenging for you also. So when did it then started becoming a business model for you?
No, it's never a business model. Not even now. It is not a business model.
You just do it because you
as far as career is concerned, I want to tell the youth that they should not think of business. If you want to think business, then this is a wrong place to think about. I can only tell you that the moment you are passionate involved with work, the money is secondary. It will come by itself. You just perfect yourself in your skill, money will come. So this is what I have been telling my students here. Another thing, character also is very important. You build up your character also, so that you have a very good and congenial, pleasant relationship with the society, with the people around. So this is what I have practiced also, and I wanted the people who want to do something in not to feel to. However great you are, you should not think that you are great. Let others tell you that you are great. Yeah. So that way, I see that as a career, you need not be thinking too much about how to earn it. Of course, money is important. It's not that it's not important. It is important. Even at this point of time, at the height of my career, also, I'm still struggling. I still do all the the basic jobs that is needed within the gallery, within the studio. I don't depend. I don't employ. And this is another thing which you enjoy. When you enjoy your work, that is more important. It's not that you get a lot of money and you work in a place where you grumble all the time. This is not good for you.
So there's no satisfaction.
Job satisfaction is not there. Is true.
Okay, so there are many young people and students who want to take up art Maybe they are interested in painting or filmmaking, but just because it might not be very profitable for them in future, they are forced to take up different other kinds of work. So what kind of advice or suggestion you would like to give to aspiring people?
You see, again it comes to the same thing. If you think profitable as in terms of earning, then I cannot advise you. If you think in terms of profitable, of gathering knowledge, of improve of your skill, of attaining excellence, then I think consistency, dedication, passion, and in this world, because now world has become a small place. I mean, I'm old enough. I'm not very acquainted with with the things that is happening around the world. But I have seen young kids now. They are very very smart in accessing through the network and getting all the necessary inputs and kind of support to extend to enhance their skill and to extend their their reach out to various destination. So that way, even if I have to go back to your earlier question, even from the olden times, it is not that the youth wanted to be confined to the conventional jobs. They wanted to do to even me also. I wanted to, but there's nobody to guide me. Why did I am stuck with with this mediocre educational qualification is because nobody guided me. Had I got the opportunity to pursue in art, I knew that I will excel. But now it's too late to think about that. Well, I'm very content. I'm happy that whatever has been happening with me at this moment. So I have done the best that I could do for the society, the best that I could do for the fraternity. This is, I'm happy, and in a way I feel much more better because that way when I don't go to school, what I have witnessed, maybe this should be a bit of tips for the young generation also. You don't go by the book. We always, unconventional. We break rules, but at the same time, you should understand the grammar, the necessary system of how things work. So only if you are involved in the work and try to put things in the right place and don't obey everything that you've been taught in college or in school or in university, if that is your guiding yardstick, then you will end up blocking everything that you wanted in your career. So feel free yourself and explore. I mean, there's no harm in making mistake. Make plenty of mistakes. There's no harm in it. But out of those mistakes you made, you bring out something that is excellence, that is out of the box, which the world will appreciate, and which have a unique identity in front of everyone. Yeah.
So, like you said, keep making mistakes, and you also mentioned that now with social media and internet, it is very easy to reach and make your works visible to other people. But during your time when you started, the social media was not very strong, the internet was not very strong. What were the challenges that you faced when you first started taking up painting, and then what is the difference between now, like before and now scenario?
Yeah, it is there, but I think one thing that another thing which I have discovered myself, I don't know, I may be right, I may be wrong, is to be receptive. Okay. When you are receptive to new things, you see, sometimes there are instances where you think, where people around, even in the fraternity, I remember that time, they used to ridicule, modern art and contemporary art. Because I belong also to that school, I belong to that generation. So, but in my, deep within myself, I said I should say honestly, what do I really wanted, what do I, so I ventured to learn contemporary art, to learn modern art. So I'm the older generation as it stands now, but still I'm trying to cope up with the situation, with the age, as the years pass by. So the way, this way, I mean, there's nothing that comes in your way to create any obstacles. Even if you don't have internet that time, we have television. Even prior to that, we don't have television, still carry on, we are doing good. So that way, I don't see that the technology will be, a master to shape your destiny. It should be a tool that you can utilize for enhancing your work, your skill, your everything, yeah, whatever. Like say for example, there are times where earlier we used to struggle and do some, let's say lettering. But now you have all the, the software, Photoshop. We used to paint manually, designing covers and all this. We used to paint manually, but now everything can be done within Flip. But don't let that software be the tool that overwhelm you. That software should be a tool that you should explore and create new things. Actually, there are times when some of my friends, because I also don't go to a proper school even to learn all these things. I try to cope up, I try to be receptive with new things, with new development, with modern technology, but at the same time, I use my own intelligence to explore. That way, there are friends within the same circle. They say, "How did you do this?" I said, "I don't know. I just do it because somebody taught me how to operate the software." Then, but I do it myself, and something new has come up. And the people who taught me, they were surprised. How did you do this? I said, you taught me. So that's how things are. So when you have this attitude that anything, the material thing, is your tools, then you will tend to excel, to succeed. But moment you are dependent on them, then you are a failure from the start. Yeah.
Okay. So that means one needs to be very receptive. You have said that in your case also you have kept learning, and even now you keep learning. That means the learning should never stop in this or in whichever field. So when you started, how did you manage everything? Because you are into filmmaking also, the entire scope of visual arts. It's a very wide concept. It's not just painting or filmmaking, even musical instruments. How did you, was it just your interest, or how did you you are so multi-talented, so how did you do it? Could you guide?
Actually, honestly, you must have also witnessed, I'm confined to visual arts.
Yes.
Be it painting.
It's still a very vast domain.
Yeah, that's what. Be it painting, be it photography, be it sculpture, be it printmaking, be it filming, be it whatever. It's just visual medium. As far as music is concerned, I don't have a knack for music, so I don't touch that. But I engage people. After I set up Riti Academy, I engage people because they are all part of the art expression. Something that I wanted to tell you, which is not there besides visual art, is this literature. I have tried to write books. So this is something that I have. It has evolved later. So because why this comes into you? Because my involvement with film. There are times when I am trying to conceptualize an idea for a film, when I try to give some people to please write a script, but they could not bring out what I wanted, what I have in my mind, what really triggered from my heart. It doesn't come out. So I ultimately line up in do it myself.
So you took the initiative.
Yeah, so I took the initiative to do it. Initially, it was not up to the mark. Of course, there are people who used to help me. I have people like Desmond Karmaflang, then Kanpam Nongkudri. He used to look around and try to. At the same time, they appreciate. At the same time, they criticize. No, this should not be done like this. This should be done like this. So that way, I start learning writing also. That's how I perfect my skill even in writing. That now too I read regularly for newspaper, for magazine.
Yeah. So what are the basic skills you would say are needed to become a part or to take up this profession? First, of course, you said the will to never give up and to keep learning and upgrading your skills. Other than that, of course, now with so much of peer pressure and pressure from the family, it's so easy to give up. So what kind of suggestions would you like to give to our viewers on this?
Your concern, your responsibilities for the family should be there, of course, but equal weightage should be given to your passion also. If you do that, I think make it as part of your daily work that you need to do. It's like you eating. you are taking medicine when you are not feeling well, you are taking medicine. So take art like that also. You eating so that you will satisfy your hunger. So if you do that, then I think it will carry on. And but one thing is, I should say that it will be poisonous if you overdo also. So even if you have so much of passion also, don't overdo it. Do it moderately. Do it at ease. Do it with so much of fun and enjoyment. Don't do it because somebody pressure you. Don't do it because you have a deadline to finish. If you have I mean, many times I have to disappoint my client because I work with my own terms. And when I do it, I do it the best of my effort. So if it suits you, it suits. If it doesn't, but it doesn't mean that I'm very lethargic and I don't do work and I keep on giving excuses. It's nothing like that. I try to do work, but if you keep a pressure, it happened right now also. Okay. It happened right now. I'm doing this mural for art and culture department. So art and culture department, they could not give me a contract, so to say. So it has to route through the PWD, and PWD almost every alternate day or every week they will keep reminding me that I should finish this work, I should do this work. Then I just tell them, I convey the same thing to my art culture also. That day Frederick was here, he was telling me the same thing, that give us the opportune time that we'll deliver the best according to our convenience. Not that you put any pressure that no, I wanted to finish this in 1 week, or I want to finish this in 1 month. No, we cannot do in that kind of atmosphere. We do when we think best it is done. So if at all it has to be done, no. Even if you ask it to finish it in 1 week, it could finish in 1 day.
1 day.
So that's how things work. Yeah.
So usually, I mean, creative people usually work on their own terms, as far as I've seen.
Yeah, because but there are this one also I don't take it as a license. This is not an artistic license, because there are certain who people who take this as a license and tends to overdo things which looks very ugly in front of society and clientele, and at the end of the day it spoils themselves only. So that way you have to keep a balance between how you should satisfy your work endeavor, and at the same time you please the client also. Let them also be happy. Let them also understand. It's not that you assert your attitude and you put a barrier and don't let them understand. You said let them do what they wanted to do, I will not do it. No, it's nothing like that. Make them understand. If they make them understand, they will understand. Yes. That's how we approach. This is where I am trying to tell that beside being your excellence in your skill, you need to have a very good, pleasant relationship also with the society. True. Because you live in the world, it's not that you live in a jungle, so you have to deal with people. It is the society that will provide you all the resources. Like it's not that you wanted money from them, but the money will be given only if you produce an output. No, if you don't produce an output, how will money come? And that relationship should be maintained. So even if you don't you don't do it up to the mark, also sometimes some kind of compassionate gesture also is there. So this happened in the world. So sometimes, because like I told, many times you made mistake also. So when you are a failure, then somebody is compassionate about you. But if you have a very conceited attitude, and who is there to feel nice for you, to help you? No, nobody. So that way you have to be original with whatever you have your own personal attitude and understanding about art, but at the same time be approachable, be communicable with the society, with the people around also. Yeah.
So development of soft skills is very important, maintaining good relationship with the people around you, while also being good with your work that you're saying. Okay, sir. So sir, also I'm sure you must have, this is not an easy profession, and no profession is easy, of course, you have to give your best. But there might have been times when you might have felt very low, or maybe there might have been a time where you might, there are always some times where you feel that it's not enough. So what kept you motivated, and how did you keep yourself going during such times?
I have always said this. I mean, I've been saying to and I'm saying to the young generation, remove this sense of frustration, depression, and any thought, any pressure that comes to your mind, remove them from yourself.
But how do we do that?
I don't know. I just do
I
it.
mean, how did you do it?
I just do
how
it.
How did you cope?
I just did. However obstacles or anything comes, even I'll tell you, even there are times where people sabotage also.
Yes, of course.
I take it in a lighter manner. I said, okay, it's done. It's done. I'll start something fresh. I'll do something new, and take it easy. You don't take it too serious, because if you harm people, I mean that karma, that
Yes,
result will
course.
come back to you. Somebody will do it. Yeah. So you give everything to the world and don't expect a thing from the world.
Okay, so just give your best.
Give your best, yeah.
And whatever.
I don't hide anything. I don't hide. It happened recently also, because, but it's not very good to mention. But there are people who think that they have attained certain level of you, and they sort of betray for whatever I have done for them. But they land up nowhere. I give them with all good faith, and I don't have any hesitation. I no expectation, but things didn't work to their expectation, and they think that they are on top of the world, and nothing happened. So I carry on. I don't care. I just do what I'm needed to do. Yeah.
So what matters, you're saying, at the end of the day, is as long as we are true to ourselves.
True. Yeah.
And we know that we have
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes.
You just have to be honest to yourself, honest to your people, to your society. It's the best policy. Yeah.
So now, coming to Riti Academy, I am sure you are mentoring and coaching a lot of students. How do you go about, what do you teach here? What kind of skills can students attain from your academy?
In art, I always maintain this this concept that art is something that you can teach. You only guide them. Of course, you can call me, I'm a veteran in this field, so I have tried to extend my knowledge to a certain level, which the new kid doesn't know. So, but I just show him. He already had the potential, the talent with him. I just need to hone his skill to attain something much better. And in many times, I would like to admit publicly that there are many whom I have been involved to guide them. They have excelled much more than I could perform. So this also you should cherish. If your artist, if your students is doing much more than you can do, no, you should feel proud about that. But there are people who don't like that kind of an idea. They want to be the master all the time. So I don't do that. I let them explore whatever they want, and I let them excel much more than I do. I will be the happiest man. This is one thing. And another thing is, I'm saying it according to the local situation that is prevailing here.
Okay.
So when a group of students are there, then I just locate, identify someone with excellent skill. I pick them up, then I give them counseling. Then I ask what is the they want. Sometimes there are people who have to learn, but they can afford to pay the fee also, even if it is nominal. So I said, don't worry about that. You come, you work, and do everything that you needed to do. If you want any help, I'll help you. Then for them, I create a situation to make them like an apprentice. So when they became an apprentice, they also get a kind of a stipend.
So it's like an internship.
Yeah, like an internship. So I utilize the skill for furthering the demand of my client.
Okay.
So that's how things work. But sometimes it is not also catering to the clientele. It's a collection. So like I need some work that I cannot do myself. I cannot do, instance, I don't have time, or maybe I don't have that more perseverance to do it.
Yeah.
I need to sit and but I have to do so many responsibilities, like you have mentioned, have so many other responsibilities. I can just sit in one place and do just one particular work. So that way I engage them. Since I see that they have skill, so I put them in my collection. So it's not necessary that you should cater to this clientele. I put also in my collection, so that when people visit here, they'll get to see what we are having here, what our local people are there to contribute to the society. Yeah.
So, Riti Academy was established in 91. So this year it's going to complete 30 years. What is the change in trend and the kind of students that you are seeing? Right? I mean, it's been 30 years. Are there many young people, according to you, who are interested in this domain? And what is your observation in 30 years?
Yeah, like I have told you earlier, it's even for those who want to for further studies to opt for their career in art, they were always there right from long time also, since the 90s also. It's only that their parents always are very conscious about security, about proper earning and all this thing. So that way they gone astray. And even it happened in my family with my kids also, because from the other side of the family they think otherwise. But when I identify that my children are having some inclination towards art, I try to drag them in. So there are instances when I, to my daughter or to my son, that I have indulged in giving us a kind of an alternative. Give art as an alternative. The primary concern is what everybody decide to go for a courses that will have a good salary. But I said no, I'll take them to art because I know they have. So they attempt, and ultimately I discovered that the kids wanted to pursue for art. They don't care about that money earning model. So that's how things work. So now, of course, things has changed a lot.
Yes.
Situation is not so much different, but the young kids now, they are more independent. They are more ambitious, and they do it their way. They can afford to defy their parents also nowadays. But earlier too, we cannot, no. Earlier too, we have to obey whatever the parents had given us things to do. Yeah.
So then, sir, there might have been many students of yours who have done very well after taking or after being a part of the Riti Academy. Could you just cite some of them, give them some?
Yeah, there are many who have. I can't really name many of them. Maybe even Benedict, who was now a lecturer in the university, fine arts. He was my student when he was a young kid, just 5-6 years old. He was my student. I used to guide him. So later we became contemporary. That's how things I said, like I said earlier, no. So when we provided him a space that he can go for proper study in fine arts, now he's doing much better than I do. So he has really excelled. So after him also there are a few more. Even my son also, he completed his master in fine arts. Yeah.
So mostly you are saying that it's very important to provide an enabling and growing environment for students, and it really takes a lot of perseverance to keep up with this domain. So what would be your closing remarks for our viewers, for aspiring people who want to take up this as
just
a
walk,
career?
just keep walking. Just walk and keep walking, and the new thing that is happening now in the prevailing situation in the world is to have a curiosity to explore more. Because as I have told earlier, I cannot I cannot further myself in terms of accessing to new skill that is prevailing all over the world. But new generation kids, they had a different. So walking is one thing which is basic. Just keep walking, and don't look back, and this one, try to access as much as possible skill that is prevalent all over the world. Through the technology that is providing us.
So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable feedbacks and suggestions for our viewers. So viewers, as you heard from Mr. Raphael Warjri, he says that it is very important to keep learning in whatever you do, never to give up. Do the basic work, but always keep upgrading your skills, like you said. So I think with these words, since there's always a paucity of time, it's time for us to wind up this program. Thank you very much for being part, and thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time. It's been an honor.
Thank you to you for giving me this opportunity also.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, I hope you have learned and gained something from today's episode. Thank you very much, and we will see you in another episode of the Career Guidance program.